how? How? Here you are you're in a community, you're with coaches, you're having an experience where you're watching other people get great results following the same protocol that you're following. And you're wondering why you are not getting the same or similar results. And I'm here to tell you that it's likely because there's an issue with self-love. If you have ever raised your hand privately in a session with me or in a class with me, or you ever talked to me in a one-on-one session and you've expressed issues with confidence and self-acceptance and how you see yourself and having imposter syndrome and having inferiority complexes and just looking in a mirror and hating what's looking back at you. I've heard it all, y'all. I've heard it all. Let me tell you something. Your work should not start in the kitchen. Your work should not start in the gym. Your work should start in the mirror.
Optimal health is not a privilege, it's a right. However, unfortunately, the overwhelming majority of health challenges today can be attributed to lifestyle. This includes our physical activity, the quality of our relationships, stress, purpose and fulfillment, and of course, our diet. But what if there was an alternative? What if we could prevent and combat these health challenges with lifestyle changes before pills and procedures? You are listening to the Plant Protocol Podcast with yours truly, plant-based health and business coach, and now the forever voice in your head, Lisa A. Smith. It's time to come get this health.
So how many calories should I have every day? How many grams of protein are enough? What time of day is best to exercise? How much strength training should I be doing? Like, should I be fasting? What should I be drinking? Lisa, is there a superfood? What's up with this meat thing? If I give it up, won't I need my protein? Won't I lose nutrients? How much is too much when it comes to exercise, when it comes to strength training? Is it best to do it at night? Is it best to do it during the day? I know you guys have probably heard some of these questions. And I know when I started my weight loss journey back in 2012, I had all of those questions too. I thought that weight loss, health, weight gain, whatever you want to do, was all about constantly adjusting my diet or my exercise regimen over and over again, constantly making adjustments to my diet and to my exercise, and to my diet. Because I'm like, I want to get this weight off. I want to do it once and for all. I know some of you can relate who maybe have gone back and forth with your health goals. You lose the weight, you gain it back, you lose it again. And then same thing with exercise. For some of us, we love it. For a lot of us, it's a love-hate relationship. And we're constantly trying to figure out what is the perfect formula for eating and exercise. And I know this to be true, not only from my own weight loss journey when I started my journey of losing over 60 plus pounds, but I also know this to be true from being a health coach for the past 10 years and hearing the same questions over and over again from our students too. Lisa, what type of exercise do you do? How many grams of protein do you? What multivitamin do you take? Are you using a protein powder? Like, how much do you eat? What time should I stop eating? What time should I start eating? And I'm like, dang, we have all been understandably programmed to believe that things like weight loss, or even when it comes to chronic conditions like high blood pressure, hypertension, gut issues, it's all a matter of just making tweaks in our diet and our exercise. But I am so super excited, y'all, to share with y'all today what special ingredient really helped me to lose the weight and maintain it. Most importantly, it's the maintenance piece. Help me maintain, i.e. keep my weight off. That doesn't have nothing to do with the kitchen and nothing to do with the gym. And what's crazy is that I know a lot of us know intellectually, because y'all super smart. Like, if we was to add up the number of degrees that was just on here right now, I'm sure we will be in the teens, 20s. And as the audience goes up today, the 50s to the hundreds, like, we got degrees. And we're super, super smart. And we know if we were to be in just an intellectual conversation, we know that health is way more than what we eat and how we move. But why is it, though, when it's time to really make a change for ourselves and our health and in our weight, we only make adjustments to our diet and our exercise? Like, in a conversation, we will say, yeah, health is way more than that. We'll talk about sleep. We'll talk about stress. We'll talk about rest. We'll talk about recovery. We'll talk about stretching. We'll talk about all of these other components of health in a conversation. But when it comes to taking action, when we're on our own personal health journey, very rarely do we apply the things that we know impact health outside of diet and exercise. And so your favorite plant-based health coach is on to share with you today the secret ingredient that has helped me to maintain a 65-pound weight loss, that has helped me to maintain a status of health where I am on 0 medications, where I don't have a reliance on any supplements except for vitamin D, but no multivitamins, no powders, no random injections. How sometimes we got to go to the doctor and get like different injections for different vitamins and supplements and nutrients. None of that stuff, right? And arguably, my health is above average, okay? Not based on my belief, but based on what the data says that, a woman in her 40s is typically dealing with at my age, my race, my socioeconomic status is you typically overweight, typically on at least one prescribed drug, and typically really battling some challenges around overall fulfillment and life satisfaction. And so I believe there are some things that I've done making what I would call above average decisions that has given me above average health. And so I'm excited to deep dive in this conversation with you guys today, because I'm sure you guys have tried workouts, you try cleaning up your diet, but something still isn't sticking for you. You could lose the weight, you could get some of the result, but for some reason you've not been able to get the entire result. So in this episode of the Plant Protocol Podcast, live recording, I'm going to reveal one of the most overlooked yet powerful elements of any health journey. And it's not what, most people, I don't know. I don't think most people talk about this when they're talking about health, especially if it's physical health, especially if it's from the neck down. If we're talking about mental health and emotional health, yeah, people will talk about love. But when we talk about from the neck down, right? When we talk about like really getting the weight off, when we talk about getting our hormones in balance, if we're talking about inflammation in the body, if we're talking about joint pain, if we're talking about high blood pressure or high cholesterol, if we're talking about our A1C, when it comes to insulin resistance and things like diabetes and fatty liver disease and heart disease, very rarely do we put love in the ingredient pot. And so I'm going to share with you guys today 3 types of love that you absolutely need in order to take your health to the next level. And don't sleep on this because it works. It works. It works. And I'm going to break down scientifically to you why it works. And then today in our BS segment, at the end of today's episode, in our business strategy segment, I'm going to share with you for our current and aspiring entrepreneurs, what it takes to get people to want to work for you. I'm going to share with you briefly at the end today how to become the person that people want to work for. Because when we're running businesses, we often need help, and we need help quite quickly, especially if you have a product or service that's in demand. However, one of the things that typically hinders a lot of us in our business is that we're the ones trying to do all the things, and you can burn out from that very, very quickly. So I am going to break down 3 types of love really quickly. So the reason I'm talking about this today, number one, because a lot of you listening and watching, you are on kind of that peak and valley roller coaster that is weight loss. You're on that peak and valley roller coaster that is optimal health and a journey to optimal health. At least I'm on at least one medication, or at least I just don't feel energized, or I don't feel good in my body, or I don't necessarily feel like myself, right? Like I know I'm used to feeling better. I'm used to having enough go. I'm used to having optimal functioning of my body when I walk, when I speak, when I talk, when I travel, and I'm not there and something's off. And now the doctor is trying to prescribe me drugs, or the doctor has already prescribed me something. And so I want to help you guys with that. Let's talk about what it truly takes to take your health to the next level and not just lose the weight, but to actually keep it off. That's the goal. So for those of you who don't know, I have lost over 65 pounds. I started my weight loss journey back in 2012. And the thing that I'm most proud of is not losing the weight, but keeping it off for over a decade. It has given me a ton of body confidence. It has given me like the courage to do some really hard stuff. Like the very first hard thing I did when I lost weight was quit my 9 to 5, like literally. And that was only 30 pounds into my weight loss. I hadn't even got to the whole 65 yet. just 30 pounds down, I quit my 9 to 5. Now that's saying something, right? And so the courage and the confidence that you get when you start feeling good in your body, start feeling good in your mind, it's just unmatched. And a lot of you guys have experienced that, but for some of you, you haven't been able to maintain that. Right. So we know that we can make adjustments to get a result within a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But what adjustments do you need to make to maintain the result indefinitely? And that's the thing I want to share with you today. What I talked about at the beginning, which was adjusting our diet, adjusting our exercise regimen, that will get you results in the short term. 100% it will. There's no doubt about it. Like if you eat less calories, you're going to lose weight. If you want to just break down the basic science of it all, right? Now, you eat more calories, you're going to gain weight. It's very, very simple. However, for all of us, we don't want to just lose it or gain it temporarily. We want to be able to maintain the stuff that we work for, right? And we don't want to look up this time next year and have the exact same issue or the exact same problem. So let me tell you 3 types of love. I'm going to break down 3 types of love that you need to have, you should have in your life that, believe it or not, heavily impacts your overall health. So we're talking about love today. So in our 30-day vegan challenge, our protocol that we give to our participants, to our challengers, we have the dietary protocol, but we also have a part of our protocol that tells them things they should be doing outside of the kitchen in the gym. And one of the things that we list in our 30-day vegan challenge protocol is you must spend at least an hour a day doing something you love and at least an hour a day with somebody you love. Very, very powerful. This episode is dedicated to telling you why that is. Okay. So in my weight loss journey and my weight loss experience, there's been 3 types of love that I believe have played a super big role in my success of having above average health. And that goes for physical health from the neck down and mental and emotional health from the neck up. The first type of love that everyone should have in their health protocol, regardless of what age you are, what status you are, or whatever, is you have to be in love with what you do. Now, when I say what you do, that doesn't necessarily mean you're 9 to 5. More specifically, the type of love that is going to sustain you and make it much, much easier to resist junk food and things like that is your contribution to society. So it may look like your regular 9 to 5 job. It may not. But are you contributing? Are you madly in love with some way that you contribute to society? So let me make this even simpler. Do you have fulfillment and meaning in your life? Do you have fulfillment and purposeful work in your life? So again, this does not have to be your 9 to 5. It could be something that you do outside of your 9 to 5. But do you intentionally dedicate time to something that's purposeful and meaningful on the other end? So this could be in a volunteer role. It could be a side business that you have. It could be your full-time gig. But do you have a certain way that you contribute to society that is meaningful and purposeful and makes you feel good as well? You know, we always like to say stuff like when we give, it's for other people and it's not for us. And most of us know definitively that that's not true, right? When we give and when we're in service to other people, whether it's for free, for money, whatever, we get something in return just naturally. So the first type of love you need to actually keep the weight off, the first type of love that you need to actually stay off of medications, to resist all the fast food and the junk food, is you need a love for something that you do in service to other people on a regular basis. You need meaning. You need purpose. Let me tell you why this is so important. So I became a plant-based vegan back in like 2015, right? 2016, somewhere around there. And at that time, when I became plant-based, I gave up the animal products, but I was still consuming sugar. So I was a vegan, but I was not sugar-free because sugar is vegan, right? So you could technically eat sugar and still be vegan. However, I started teaching a class in summer of 2017 called Get Planted, an introduction to a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And when I started teaching that class, I would do it once a month, every first Saturday of the month. And I would show up. This was at a physical space in downtown Detroit. And people would come in and they would sit down. So we had it set up like, you know, theater style. They all have their chairs. I'm in the front of the room and I got a topic and I get to lecturing and teaching. And then at the end, people would raise their hands and ask me questions, and we would have an open discussion. And then at the very end, people would line up to ask me questions or to tell me thank you or whatever it is, right? And I noticed that some months when I would teach that class, I wouldn't be as sharp as I might have been other times. Like my mind wouldn't be as sharp, my recall wouldn't be as sharp, all of these things. And I'm like, oh, I got to crack this code. Like, why did I feel like on fire last month and I feel a little foggy this month? And I realized it was the sugar. And I realized that if I wanted to be in service to my people, if I wanted to really help, marginalized communities combat chronic health challenges and being overweight and dealing with feelings of depression, anxiety, and all of these things, that I had to be sharp because they had questions and I was well read and well studied. I just needed access to all the information I had studied. And so I realized that I had to be my best, which means in order for me to show up every month and do the work I loved in service to the people I love, I needed to let go of sugar. Let me tell you something. Now, I know a lot of people, when they try and let go of junk food like sugar or caffeine, like, Lisa, I just drink dairy and sugar in my coffee every morning. I don't know how I could live without it. Or I know some people are addicted to other type of caffeinated drinks like energy drinks. And I know some people are addicted to more salty stuff. I can't let go of my fried foods, Lisa. I can't let go of the drive-through. I can't let go of my potato chips. I can't let these nuts, they got a hold on me, like all of this stuff, right? I know food has a hold on a lot of us. But let me tell you something. God is so good. The moment I decided to let go of sugar in service to the work I loved, I never went back. The love for what I did and who I was doing it for overpowered the desire for the synthetic foolishness. See, the approach that most of us take when it's time to get healthy and we're battling our relationship with food is we try and take a discipline approach. We try and take a willpower approach. I just got to be strong. I just got to push myself. I just got to do it. I just got to talk to myself, and I got to force myself to be disciplined, and I need to force myself to be consistent. Or you could just be in love. You could just be so in love for how you want to give to people that you refuse to eat anything or drink anything that will compromise that. I literally go months without alcohol. Months. I remember a time where I couldn't fathom not having myself a glass of Malbec when I wanted it. Now, if I know I got a big project coming up, I'm preparing for something or a really busy quarter, a really busy season, it is nothing for me to snap a finger and be like, okay, I can't drink this quarter. We got these speaking engagements. We're running this big challenge. We're doing this big thing. I got to hit the stage a couple times. Not even on my lighter days or my lighter weeks. It's nothing for me to put down something that I believe will compromise the work that I'm doing. So the very first type of love that you need that will help you on your health journey is love for how you contribute to society. Some of you guys, you already know what you love to do. Like you might love writing, you might love history. We got one of our students in Farm to Table who is like a huge history buff and she wants to work in the historical data field. There's something that you do, but the reason it's not aiding you on your health journey is because you're not doing it full out. Like you're not really giving it the time, the dedication, the energy. You're not putting that into it. You have to be in love with what you do so much that nothing will ever taste as good as being in front of those people, teaching them and being my best self for them. So the moment that I realized that sugar was compromising my contribution to society is the moment I gave it up. And guess what? I've never went back. Like, it's not even hard. So some of us are missing meaning and purpose in our lives. And that's what makes exercising consistently and eating right more difficult because we don't have meaning. We don't have meaningful work. And so we're getting pleasure. We're getting like these synthetic, shallow dopamine hits from synthetic fake food, synthetic fake experiences, because we don't have anything to look forward to that fills us up more than that junk. Does that make sense? First type of love you need is meaningful work And this can also be classified as contribution. Let me go into the second type of love.
Are you making everything look successful on the outside, but secretly you're drowning on the inside? Like you're checking every box, showing up for everyone else, but completely disconnected from you. Are you constantly tired even after a full night of sleep? Do you feel burned out, overwhelmed, and like you're stuck in a cycle of doing everything and still never feeling like it's enough? Is your mind always cluttered with mental fog while your body is running on empty? Yeah, I've been there. And I had to make some really hard decisions to break from that cycle. I left a secure job that no longer aligned with my peace. I walked away from a long-term relationship that felt familiar but not healthy. I released over 60 pounds physically and arguably mentally and emotionally too. And I healed from the abandonment of my biological father. I got clarity. And that's why I created Clarity, a community designed to help you to eliminate chronic stress. Inside Clarity, we walk you through 3 powerful phases. First, we help you to optimize your physical health because when your body feels better, your mind gets clearer. Next, we guide you through the work of eliminating chronic stress at the root, whether it shows up as burnout, overwhelm, anxiety, or just that feeling of constant pressure. We use tools like emotional intelligence, mindset work, and our proprietary science-backed frameworks. And finally, we walk you through what it takes to live a life of radical obedience. This is where you start making bold, aligned decisions that reflect the life you were created to live. Because life is not about perfection, it's about peace. It's about confidence. It's about improving your quality of life and making the kind of impact you were born to make. So if you've been feeling the tug, that quiet inner knowing that there's more for you, I invite you to click the link and get on the list. Because peace is not a luxury, it's your birthright. And it all starts with clarity.
The second type of love that I believe is responsible for me having above average health, the second type of love that I believe is responsible for all of our clients who are able to follow our protocols and then maintain their results, is love people and allow them to love you. So the second type of love is all about social connections. So do you love the people you're with every day? Do you love your partner? Do you love your community? Do you love your coworkers? Now, let me get more specific though. Community and coworkers is a different type of love, right? That's usually long arm. But even more specifically, do you love the people who you spend intimate time with? Do you love or do you have someone who's in your presence on a regular basis that gives you that intimate connection? And I'm not talking about romantic necessarily. This could be a child, right? This could be a pet. This could totally be like your parents, your cousins, sister, brothers, somebody that you spend a lot of time with and they know you better than the average person knows you, and you feel safe around them, and you can belly laugh with them, and you can share things with them that's not going to result in judgment later, right? Love from people, humanity. So again, in our protocol for the 30-day vegan challenge, we have our protocol that says spend an hour a day with someone you love, spend an hour a day on something you love, right? And I try and explain to our challengers in the beginning of the challenge that this is not just, a random assignment. Like this really heals your body just as much as these plants and these berries you're about to be eating. Like I need you to follow this part of the protocol as well, right? And the reason we do that, the science that speaks to that is from the science from the Blue Zones, which, is this long study that Dan Buettner did to show what aspects of life and what components of life make the difference in how long we'll live. And what he showed in this Blue Zone study and data is that the number one indicator of longevity and quality of life is not your diet, it's not your exercise, it's not your DNA, it's not your zip code, it's not your race, it's the quality of your connections. So some of us, we have broken, strained relationships with people who are the closest to us. Like maybe it is in your romantic relationship, maybe it is in your relationship with your partner or your marriage. Maybe it's with a parent, the relationship is strained. Maybe it's with a child. Maybe it's with, a really close friend and you guys have, there's a looming conversation or elephant in the room that no one's addressing, right? We got to pour into our relationships and we got to do the work. I remember a friend of mine posted a clip of me on his page where I was talking about healing. And after he posted that clip, another friend of mine texted me and he said, "Oh man, your clip about healing, it moved me so much." He was like, "It inspired me to actually reach out to my father to start a conversation that I know I have been needing to have for a long time and was just kind of like delaying it." And he was like, "Thank you. Like I needed that because I needed to begin healing from that thing." This is the same thing for many of us. Many of us, we have relationships that are not whole and healthy that we should be working on so that we can come to a place of peace within that relationship. And when we do that, we're then able, believe it or not, to activate something within us, right? So when you have intimate connection with people closest to you, you release a neurotransmitter called oxytocin. That oxytocin is healing to the body, right? It's healing to the body. And so I need you guys to understand that social connections can heal you. It has just as much power, maybe even more, to heal you than just your kale and spinach and blueberries and bananas. It's like when we want to lose weight, when we want to heal the body, when we want to get off of medications, we think the whole formula is diet and exercise. It's not. It's so much more. Like cuddling is a whole formula, right? Love, hugs, kisses, it's a whole formula. Having difficult conversations that reintroduces peace into a relationship, it's a whole formula. And so the second type of love that we need to finally get over the hump in our healing journey is loving on people and allowing them to love on us. Don't miss that second part. Some of us, we pour out, and we love on people, but then we don't allow ourselves to be loved on. And you'll be surprised how much changes when you allow people to love on you. So the next time somebody wants to do something kind for you, the next time somebody offers to help you or assist you, I dare you to take them up on that offer, because you being loved on is just as important as you loving on other people. And again, if there's any relationship in your life that is strained and it has been demanding attention for a long time, I challenge you to give it the attention it needs so that you can, first of all, buy back that mental real estate, because it's probably taking up space in your mind and in your heart. So you need to buy that space back, right? Begin the healing journey. Repair that relationship so that you guys can start enjoying one another again, whether that's a parent, a sibling, a child, a partner, whatever it is. Like, start doing the work to repair your relationships. The love that you get from having healthy, intimate relationships can heal your body and your mind. Trust me, I know. And the reason we know this, and you can use personal data to verify this, because it also happens in reverse. Am I right? When you have a relationship that's not healthy, when you have a relationship that's strained, how does it impact you? How does it impact your mood? How does it impact your disposition? Sometimes you have a physical reaction. So, if it happens in that order, it can happen in the opposite order as well, right? So second type of love, social connections, the love with people in your life. Let's get into number 3, and then we're going to get into our BS segment. So the third type of love, and then I'm going to tell you guys like scientifically why this all works. But the third type of love that has really aided in optimal health for myself and my clients is, now this is the big one. Somebody hold on to your hat, clutch your pearls. I'm about to come down your street and I'm not hitting the brakes. Okay? Okay. The third type of love that is going to take your weight loss journey and your health journey to the next level is love for yourself. Self-love. Listen to me and listen to me closely. I have worked with thousands of people in the last 10 years. And one of the most common things I hear from individuals who are trying to get healthy, they're trying to do something to get healthy, but they have a limiting belief that's preventing them from going all the way. And that limiting belief is, I'm not enough. I'm not deserving. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I've done so much damage to my body. I've done so much damage I don't even deserve. There's no way I could ever, right? So many people are privately struggling with loving themselves. How is it ever going to be possible for you to give your best effort to your health if you don't believe you're worthy? If you don't think you're even good enough, if you don't think you have the strength, the discipline, the consistency, whatever it is, like if you don't think you have the strength, how? How? Here you are you're in a community, you're with coaches, you're having an experience where you're watching other people get great results following the same protocol that you're following. And you're wondering why you are not getting the same or similar results. And I'm here to tell you that it's likely because there's an issue with self love. If you have ever raised your hand privately in a session with me or in a class with me, or you ever talked to me in a one-on-one session and you've expressed issues with confidence and self-acceptance and how you see yourself and having imposter syndrome and having inferiority complexes and just looking in a mirror and hating what's looking back at you. I've heard it all, y'all. I've heard it all. Let me tell you something. Your work should not start in the kitchen. Your work should not start in the gym. Your work should start in the mirror. Self-love is how you get to the next level in your health journey. Let me tell you something. It is nearly impossible to do your best work, to show up and work hard to improve yourself if you don't believe you're good enough, if you don't believe you have what it takes, if you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and you're like, they got it, they got it, they got it. God gave it to them, but I don't have it. That will destroy, incinerate, obliterate every single goal you ever set out to put your hands on. If every time you think about you can't even turn a camera on, you can't turn a mic on, even though your assignment is calling you to speak to people because you like, I hate the sound of my voice. I hate the look of myself on the camera. I don't think anybody wants to hear what I have to say. All of these self-deprecating thoughts and messages that you're downloading into your subconscious is keeping you sick, is keeping you overweight, is keeping you tired, is keeping you fatigued, and is keeping you addicted to food that's killing you. I'm telling you right now, I don't understand how y'all think that y'all can come in here and just, while a plant-based diet is super powerful, it is not a panacea, guys. It is not a panacea. It's not going to solve all your problems. If every time you think about things that you might want to do, or you even allow yourself to entertain a goal, but then your mind instantly goes to what you don't have, what your shortages are, what your deficits are, your mind instantly going to lack. Like, you got to be blind to think that don't pour over into your health. Like, everything's connected. So let me get this straight. You think the least of yourself when it comes to your career or your profession, but all of a sudden you're going to come into your health bucket and just knock it out the park. You're not. Like, this stuff ain't separate. Everything is interconnected. Like, your hip bone is connected to your, whatever bone is connected to. Shout out to anatomy. I don't even know the song, but it's all connected. Okay, guys? And so if you have imposter syndrome when it comes to your career, I'm here to break the news to you. If nobody's told you, you have an imposter syndrome when it comes to your health as well. Like, if you think I'm not good enough for business, you also don't think you're good enough to lose the weight. I'm telling you right now, right? Like, it is nearly impossible. You're just not one person over here and all of a sudden you're like this superstar who believes in everything in yourself over here. Like, I understand we have different levels of confidence in different areas, but if you have like this embedded belief that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, maybe I'm deserving of the things I'm experiencing because of things that I've done in the past, well, however you're justifying it, it's impacting you. And so the third type of love that's absolutely critical for you to finally move the needle in your health. And then most importantly, not just move the needle, but maintain the results after you've gotten them. Because for most of us, it's not getting a result, it's keeping the result. That's our problem. So if you spend 30 days with us, for example, during the 30-day vegan challenge, following our protocol to the T, you look up at the end of the month, oh my God, Lise, coach, I done lost 15 pounds. Coach, my doctor's already taking me off of one medication. Coach, I wake up every day with so much energy, I don't know what to do with myself. Coach, oh my God, the divine downloads are coming mad crazy because I got the sugar and the caffeine off the brain and now I'm clear, clear, clear. And then on day 31, when you're not with us every twice a week anymore, and we're not yelling at you every week, and you look in the mirror and it's like, oh, hey, it's you again. The person that I wasn't in love with back in June, but I decided to put that aside for 1 month to do this experience. But I don't know how to. You're still the person. Like wherever you go, there you are. If the same person who didn't think she was enough is still there come August 1st, the results are not going to last. So we know the goal is not just to get the result. We know the goal is to have a lasting result. And that starts with love. Okay. So let's review, boys and girls, before we get into our BS segment. The first type of love that's absolutely critical for you to have optimal health and maintain the results is your love for what you do, right? You have to be in love with some type of way that you give and contribute to society. You have to do, another way of saying this is you have to be doing meaningful and purposeful work. This does not have to be in the form of a 9 to 5. This does not have to be in the form of a business. Everybody's not called to entrepreneurship. It's okay, right? However, there has to be somewhere in your life where you get to contribute to society in a way that solves a problem for somebody else and in return fills you up. That was how I was able to quit sugar cold turkey. It wasn't just like, oh my God, at least I'm not as disciplined as you. It's like, no, you're not as in love as me. That's the difference. It's not that I'm more disciplined than you. It's not that I'm more consistent than you. It's not that guy gave me something that he didn't give you. I'm in love. I'm so in love with pouring my gift into other people that I refuse to let cookies, banana bread, compromise it. I'm more in love than you. Fall in love with something that requires you to be the best version of yourself, and I bet you could go cold turkey too. Boop. Okay. The second type of love, as we review, the second type of love that you absolutely need in order to get optimal health that I mentioned is love for and from other people. Social connections. You got to have healthy relationships. It's mandatory. Like every time there's any type of rift or friction in any type of my relationships, I don't let it sit. I don't let it waver. I address it right away. Why? Because I remember when I didn't used to address it right away, and I would have that thing on my mind all the time, or I would be feeling the tension or whatever it is, and it's all weird. And then I can't focus on my work, or I can't focus on my workout, or now I want to eat some foolishness because I don't want to speak up. So I'd rather just drown my thoughts in a bowl of junk, right? So love for and from other people. And finally, the third type of love is love for yourself, self-love, okay? Because if you don't think you're worthy, if you don't think you're good enough, if you don't think you have what it takes, then that's going to significantly compromise your ability to maintain the results that you got from doing all the hard work. So we absolutely must remember that self-love plays a huge role in our health. Okay, I read just past weekend, I was talking back and forth with my coach via text, and I texted him something that I thought it was so funny. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I just love my sense of humor. Like, I love my sense of humor. I think I'm so funny and I think I'm so witty. Now, I don't know who agrees or disagrees, but guess what? It don't matter. It's how I feel about me. I think I'm so funny. I love making people laugh. I love making people smile. I remember I was on a speaking engagement many years ago in Detroit, and this guy came up to me afterwards and was like, yo, if this whole health thing don't work out, you could be a stand-up comedian. I was like, and can? And by the way, I'm obsessed with stand-up comedy. Like, I love stand-up comedy. I think it's such a beautiful art form. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. The point is, like, what do you love about yourself? Like, what do you love about yourself? And you just like, I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Right? Matter of fact, let's get into this final segment, which is our BS segment, also known as business strategy. And you guys know for the past 2 weeks during this segment, I've been talking about burnout and burnout recovery, something I'm personally working through now. Burnout from doing what I love, ironically, not burnout from overextending myself for stuff I don't want to do, but just the opposite, overextending myself for things I absolutely want to do. And one of the things that I told you guys last week when I updated you on my burnout recovery is that I needed more help, and then we brought on more help, right? So we still have one more role to fill, but I was able to fill one role, bring somebody back on actually. And it got me to thinking about what I wanted to share with you guys today and how blessed I am in that one of the things that has happened to me multiple times over the last several years is I've had several people, quite honestly, usually clients, people who have been through my programs, who have offered to work for me, right? So I know when it comes to minority owned businesses, one of the things that kind of sometimes can keep us stuck in business and stifle our growth is the fact that we don't have enough help in the business, right? And one of the things that I'm super, super proud of is that I've had several people. Matter of fact, I can think right now, like if I had to rattle them off right now, I could think of at least 5 people right now who I could call who are willing to work for me, right? Who are willing to come on the team and help. And I am so proud of that. Like I have open invitations for people who have said, if you need anything, what can I do for you? Like, how can I help you? Like, how can I be in service to you? Like, you've been so helpful to me or other people, or I'm so down for your mission, or I just love you, whatever the reasoning has been, right? I think you're super dope. I've watched you over the years. Do you need help? Now, I don't know if that's common for a lot of other business owners. However, it is common for me. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you guys today, or the thing I want to share with you during today's business strategy segment, is how to become the person that doesn't need to beg for help. How to become the person that people want to work for. And there's kind of, when I was thinking about, there's kind of like 3 things that I think has contributed to me having literally open invitations right now from people who I could call on to help me and assist me specifically in business, right? And so here they are. There's 3 things. The first thing that I think is the fact that I have core values that I don't compromise on. And the reason I think this has played such a big role, now in our business, we have 5 core values, right? So like we got, service leads, money follows, success, love, speed. Like we got core values, right? That we talk about and we rattle off and I share with people who work for us. And the reason I believe our core values have played such a role is because people are very clear on what I stand for as a leader and what I don't stand for. People are very clear on what the company mission is, right? So our core values leads, and I believe that's attractive to people. Like, you know how they say, like when it comes to parenting or whatever, like children need and actually want stability. Like you could try and let them do whatever they want to do, but they actually want stability. They actually want some enforcement of some rules and regulations, right? I believe teams and staffs are the same way. Like, yes, people want autonomy and people want freedom, but people also want to know what are the lines? Like, what are the parameters? Like, what do we believe and what don't we believe? And I believe because I'm so crystal clear on what my values and what my core values are as a leader, and because I articulate that to people around me, I believe that's attractive. People are attracted to people who are decisive, and people are attracted to people who are consistent. Consistency and decisiveness is really attractive from a leadership standpoint. And because people know what to expect, they know my core values, for example, around having a spirit of excellence in what we do. I believe that has made me attractive to work for. And because of that, I have open invitations from people to work for me, right? And so in business, guys, we have to not run our business or, create offers all the time based on what other people want, based on what we believe the public wants. We also have to create offers and run our business based on what we believe. Like at the foundation of this company is Lisa's core values, right? And it's all about getting other people to buy in and believe in your vision and the core values that come with that. And I believe that is so attractive to people. Like, yes, she is steering this ship. I trust her direction. She has values that dictates the decisions she makes, as opposed to, decisions being made based on my mood, decisions being based on what I just feel like today. It's like, no, we believe in this. And so that dictates how we handle every situation. If we believe that service leads and money follows, then when a customer service issue comes in, we know what to do. We respond based on this. We don't respond based on thinking people are just dollar signs or thinking that, if they didn't buy something from us, then we don't help them as much or we don't go as far for them. No. Service leads and money follows. And so having that solid foundation of what you believe in is going to be really important to get people to be attracted to you as their leader, right? Because you're not a leader just because you're like the boss. You're a leader when people want to follow you. Just so y'all know, like, just because you're at the top of the food chain doesn't make you a boss. You're not a boss until you have followers. You're not a boss until you have people who are willing to trust you with the direction that you're taking them, right? And so one of those, I believe, characteristics is absolutely having strong core values. The second reason I believe people want to work for me, and I don't have necessarily a challenge with getting help or asking for help, is I work first. I work first. So what that means is, so what's today, y'all? Monday. So on Thursday, I had to catch a flight to Dallas, right? So I'm at the airport and I'm walking into the airport to get, head to the gates. And I see this gentleman. He literally has one suitcase in one hand, one suitcase in another. I think he had a bag, a crossbody bag, and then a third suitcase that he was kind of kicking along, right? Po baby, right? And he'll go, a few inches with his suitcases and then, have to pull the other one. He pushed the one a few, then go back, have to push another one. And everybody, you know how an airport is. So everybody's coming in, coming out, and just walking past them. And at first I did the same thing. Like, I'm coming in, got to get to my gate, got to get to check in. And I look and I just stopped to, observe my surroundings. And I'm like, look at this guy, like trying to get these bags to the, to the bag drop desk. And I went back to him and I said, hey, do you need help? He like, yes. I was like, can I help you? He's like, yes. And I took one of his suitcases and walked with him over to the bag drop kiosk. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. That was crazy, right? But he wasn't just sitting down hoping somebody came along to help him. He was working first, right? He's kicking the bag. He's trying to get it to the destination. And clearly I saw that he needed help. And so I was more than happy to help him, right? Now, granted, my fingerprints are now on this stranger's bag, and I don't know if this was a setup, but they'd be scaring the heck out of you in the airport. Don't touch any luggage that's not yours. It's like, bro, calm down. So we'll find out, to be continued, if this is going to result in anything. But the point is, I wanted to help him because I saw him working first. And I believe that's part of what makes me attractive as a leader. People want to help me because they see how hard I work. Right. And so it's like, that's how Kiwi is, y'all. Like, Kiwi is my right hand, my brand manager. And I am so grateful for her because when we meet, she's asked me several times in meetings, Lise, what are you doing that you don't want to do? What do you need help with? Because I know you're doing it all. I know you are. Tell me what I can take. And I remember our last meeting, I was listing all the stuff and Kiwi was like, I could do this one, and this one. I can't do that one. I know I can't do that one, but I can do these. And I was like, dang, really? She like, I got you. Work first. Sometimes we don't do work because we like, I don't have help. You actually attract help by working. I work the hardest in my company, right? And so being a worker first makes me attractive and makes people want to work for me. So if you are a current or aspiring business owner and you know you need help now, or you eventually are going to need help, work first. Like, do the thing, like try it, like try and figure it out. Like, sometimes you got to kick the bag and drag two more along until somebody finally is like, stop it. Let me take one of those bags for you. Right. And so work first. And then the third and final thing that I believe has made me attractive as a leader and has made people want to work with me. And even after they're not with the company anymore, they're still willing to do work and help out for us, is I treat people good. I treat people good. I treat people well. Like, I'm speaking in Jamaica in October, myself, Brandy Harvey, and then the founders of Girl Trek. And we're all speaking at this girlfriend getaway in Jamaica in October. And I literally asked Kiwi last week when we met, I'm like, do you want to come? Like, do you want to go? Like, is this something you would be interested in? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, bet, I got you. Right? Like, when people work for me, it's not just about a transactional thing. Like, you do this and, and then you get paid accordingly. And, the 9-to-5 model that we're used to. One of the things that I always make sure I know about people who work for me is what their personal goals and aspirations are. I always make sure I know that because I always give compensation above and beyond money in the form of either experiences that I think they will benefit from. So they get to do the things that I do. Like I'm not about to be the only one growing in the company, while the team is like not able to garner the same results and garner the same experiences. So if there's an opportunity, I'm like, you can come, maybe I can pay for part of it for you. Maybe I can pay for the whole thing for you. Hey, I'm going to this conference. I think you should go as well. I try and make sure that I treat people well. The thing that I love to do when it comes to compensation for people who work for me is coaching. Like if I know you have entrepreneurial aspirations as well and you're working for me, I've offered business coaching to my team in the past. I remember at one point I had 3 other people on my team, right? Many years ago, and they all were working on their own businesses. It was Kelly, it was Tiff, and it was Jay. And I remember I was like, okay, guys, I can't even remember what the cadence was. It was like every 2 weeks or every month or something. I was like, we're going to just meet as a team and I'm going to coach you guys in your business and just see where you are and help you go to the next level from a business perspective. Like business coaching was part of their compensation package, right? So I make sure I treat people really well, right? And I think that also makes me attractive as a leader because I'm invested in what their personal goals are. I'm invested in what their personal aspirations are. I'm not just concerned with what they do for me, right? So when you treat people well, right, you build healthy relationships with people. When these people are friends, I celebrate their birthdays. I reach out to them. I celebrate their successes and their wins. Like I encourage them to go do their own thing when they're ready. Like it's so important to treat people good. And so I believe those are the 3 things that have made me attractive as a leader. And has made it so that I have people who are willing to help me and have given me open invitations. Lisa, this is what I'm good at. Lisa, this is what I specialize in. If ever I could be of service to you, please let me know. And that makes me feel so good because I feel the same way for other people. There's other people in my life who have done some amazing things for me and they have an open invitation for me. If I can be in service to you in any way, don't hesitate. And those are just the type of relationships that I like to have and to cultivate. And so that is our business segment for today, how to become the person that people want to work for, right? Super important because what we're not about to do is build businesses that are only built on our own sweat and tears on our own back. And if we're not feeling well or if we just want a day off, the whole business got to shut down. That's what we're not going to do, y'all. That's what we're not going to do. We're going to build businesses that can be sustained and ran even when we're not there. Okay, that's it for me, guys. Until next week, I'll see you guys. Bye, y'all.
You tuned in today because, like me, you refuse to let your good become the enemy of your great. You're not settling for good health when optimal is well within reach. If you're ready to go from good to great, visit lisaangelsmith.com to learn more about our plant-based health coaching program, Farm to Table, and our plant-based business accelerator and coaching certification. But before you go, if you enjoyed what you heard today, please consider rating and reviewing this podcast. Until next time, remember, radical obedience is still undefeated. Stay obedient.